Mark Twain said to his people who came, he'd come to New Orleans all the time, and he would tell people that he thought the cities of the dead, that's what he called these, was the prettiest architecture and ironwork that you could ever find.
Very nice. Yeah. Had my name sitting on one. Hello.
Hi, John. How you doing?
You just had him. He knows how to use it.
Hello. Oh yeah, well,
John, you didn't take the pictures of those pretty angels. You sound good.
Oh, you drink whiskey, you're always. That's what helps you along. What do you think, Joe? A lot of fish out here. I ordered one of them stones.
When are they bringing it?
Yeah, nice little. I don't want one of the big ones.
Just a little.
Park we're going into, City Park, is just called City Park. But originally it had been a plantation, and it had belonged to Mr. Allard, a Frenchman. He went broke, and guess who bought it? That tightwad John McDonough. And, and then when Mr. Allard died, John McDonough gave this to the city, and it was the nucleus of our city park. This park is now 1,500 acres, makes it the 5th largest urban park in the United States. And I mean, we have golf courses, tennis courts, and everything. And also, we feel like, and our museum is out here. Our museum is straight ahead. You'll see it. And we feel like it's a museum also for all these fabulous trees, these live oaks. We feel like it's a museum of live oaks as well as a museum for the arts. And another interesting thing here is that this was a big WPA project. One time I had some young people on, they said, what is the WPA? And I said, well, the Works Progress Administration. They did the flower garden, they did a rose garden, and these initials. When we come up here, I'll show you. And I'm trying to figure out where I can stand or sit that I won't go falling forward, so you don't have to look at me on the floor. And actually, this is one of the reasons Bienville picked this spot. Indians showed him this bayou, and bayou is a Choctaw word for slow-moving body of water. And the Indians showed Bienville how to come into the city without coming up the treacherous Mississippi. So that's what he did. And they think this might have been an Indian fishing village. They did the flower garden, they did a rose garden, and these initials. When we come up here, I'll show you. And I'm trying to figure out where I can stand or sit that I won't go falling forward. Mexico, who worked for the WPA, he died last year at the age of 99. He had been working here since the 30s, and he was on his 10th wife. So I want to follow this one, and then we're going to take the left. Yeah, you see the WPA, and this was constructed in 1938 in the Art Deco sort of style. So we're going to go left, right over these railroad tracks. And so Enrique Alvarez came here, and we just loved him as an artist. And he started working on these rose gardens in the 30s when it was called the Rose Garden. He did his early statue back there in the 30s, and observatory here, and so only botanical garden per se in Louisiana. And you see how cute it is, and then we have a carousel garden here, which is wonderful. We had 4 at one time in New Orleans, and then all of a sudden they, were getting rid of them, and someone realized that they needed to be saved. So we have 1 left, and that's in meadows along here. These palmettos are not native to the area, so they will, if a real hard freeze came, we'd lose them. You're going to see potholes in our city, like I think that's major. I know, because of all the bride over there taking a photo shoot with the lions. And brides many times do shoots in here, and they also have symphonies and gatherings and picnics, family picnics here, and they'll have all sorts of musical little goings on the weekend. But now look on our right, some of our live oaks. You'll see these kind of trees these trees can live. I saw one yesterday over in Covington that was 1,000 years old. It was the mother of all mothers. We call it the grandmother oak tree. and it's the grandmother of the, we have an oak, live oak foundation of society, and to be a member you have to pay 40 acorns a year. Those are your dues. And then but the president is this mother tree that we saw over in Covington. But look at these, when they got blown over in storms they just kept growing. So we call them the walking oaks and the sitting oaks. So we're going to try to pull over, and anyone who has to run in to use the restroom, but we're going to try to get back on. I have 11. Let's give 10 minutes. Let me see what Zina gave, because we need to follow this bus. Pull over here.
Yeah, they got some bad roads down here. We're coming. We'll let us film it, get us filmed.
Well, no, I don't see it.
And when I didn't get a chance to tell you too much, when we say Creole in this city, it means the early inhabitants before the Louisiana Purchase of 1803. That was the French, the Spanish, even some of the African Americans. Whole lifestyle, and it was a culture, and they lived in the French Quarter. And we have Creole food to this day. We have Creole tomatoes. We have the gumbo, because it has the influence of the Indians, the early Indians. And it's been that, and as I say, Harry Connick Jr. went there. So, another interesting thing about New Orleans, we're so different from so many cities, but then we're so different from the rest of Louisiana, too. We don't go by a compass. I feel like we're retards in this city. When people say, are you going north, south, east, or west? I say, huh? I mean, I have no idea. Isn't that the truth, Linda? I mean, who've been grown up here, well, our directions are the river, the lake, uptown, and downtown. And that's you up this morning. Is the West Bank across the 75 years of existence, and there was a big function for all the Xavier graduates, and they were all downtown, and I happened to be at the parking lot talking to one of them, and I was saying, what was the big occasion? They said, oh, you know, we were just celebrating our 75th anniversary, and that's the one that Catherine Drexel, the one from Philadelphia, who was evidently quite well-to-do, and spent all her money helping Native Americans and African Americans, and she set up Xavier here, originally as a preparatory school, and then later it became this university.